Welcome to World Code Updates, your daily source for global events and breaking stories. Across the globe, headlines flash urgently on television screens and newspapers, capturing the world's attention. The South China Sea, long a simmering point of contention, is now the focus of escalating tensions. News anchors speak in urgent tones, analysts debate the implications, and the world watches as the region edges closer to a potential flashpoint. The stakes are high, and the eyes of the international community are fixed on this remote corner of Asia. In response, US and Philippine forces conduct joint military drills near the Taiwan Strait, their presence unmistakable along the rugged coastline. Armored vehicles roll across the sand, helicopters hover overhead, and soldiers coordinate maneuvers with precision. These exercises, once routine, now carry a new weight, signaling a show of unity and strength in the face of growing uncertainty. Meanwhile, China's government issues stern warnings from packed press rooms, its Navy ships patrolling the contested waters with banners that read, "Do not test our resolve." The message is clear. Any perceived provocation will be met with swift response. The rhetoric grows sharper, and the region feels the pressure of superpowers locked in a high-stakes game. At the heart of this unfolding drama lies Batanes, a chain of remote, windswept islands perched at the northernmost tip of the Philippines. Once overlooked on the map, Batanes now finds itself thrust onto the world stage, its strategic location making it a front line in the rivalry between global giants. For generations, Batanes was a tranquil haven, known for its rolling hills, stone houses, and the gentle rhythm of island life. But today, the calm is tinged with uncertainty. The clouds that drift over the landscape seem heavier, as if mirroring the unease that has settled over the community. The Ivitan people, famed for their resilience against nature's fury, braving typhoons and harsh winds, now find themselves facing a different kind of storm. This time it is not the weather, but the shifting tides of geopolitics that test their strength and adaptability. The strategic calculations of Washington and Beijing are no longer distant affairs. They are felt in the daily routines of Batanes' residents. At the local market, the presence of foreign military personnel is a subtle but constant reminder that the world's superpowers are shaping the future of this once sleepy archipelago. The familiar hum of fishing boats setting out at dawn is now joined by the thunderous roar of military aircraft overhead. The sea, once a source of sustenance and peace, has become a stage for power projection and surveillance. In village squares, conversations that once centered on weather and harvests now turn to defense treaties, alliances, and the possibility of conflict. The community grapples with questions of safety, sovereignty, and the uncertain future that lies ahead. The strategic importance of Batanes brings with it new infrastructure. Roads, radar installations, and communication towers rise where only fields once stood. With these developments come opportunities but also undeniable risks, as the islands become ever more entwined in the region's security calculus. Once a forgotten paradise, Batanes now stands as a strategic linchpin, its untouched beauty juxtaposed with the presence of soldiers and the looming specter of conflict. The island's fate is no longer solely in the hands of its people, but tied to the ambitions of nations far beyond its shores. As the Philippines realigns itself with the United States, Batanes transforms into a crucial outpost, its identity forever changed by the tides of history and the realities of a world in flux. The story of Batanes is no longer just about isolation and resilience, but about its pivotal role in the unfolding drama of the Asia-Pacific. Batanes, a province of stunning beauty, has long been known for its windswept hills, dramatic cliffs, and the tranquil rhythm of island life. For generations, it was a place where time seemed to slow, far removed from the bustle of the outside world. But today, this quiet archipelago finds itself thrust into the global spotlight, its strategic value suddenly impossible to ignore. Its isolation once defined it, shaping the unique culture and resilience of the Ivitan people. The remoteness that once protected Batanes from the tides of history is now what draws the world's attention. But now, its location is key. Batanes sits at the northernmost edge of the Philippines, closer to Taiwan than to the Philippine mainland, making it a geographic linchpin in the region. The islands are perched astride the vital Luzon Strait, one of the world's most important maritime choke points. Every day, countless shipping vessels pass through these waters, carrying goods, energy, and resources between East Asia and the rest of the world. In times of peace, this means economic opportunity. In times of tension, it means vulnerability. Proximity to Taiwan makes Batanes invaluable in any potential conflict. The narrow stretch of sea between Batanes and Taiwan is less than 200 kilometers wide, a distance easily covered by modern aircraft and missiles. In any crisis involving Taiwan, Batanes would be on the front lines. For the United States and its allies, access to Batanes provides strategic depth to support Taiwan and monitor the Luzon Strait. Joint military exercises in the region have increased, signaling a new era of security cooperation between the Philippines and its partners. The perception of Batanes has shifted dramatically, from a remote, almost forgotten outpost, to a critical node in the balance of power in the Western Pacific. The quiet streets and rolling hills are now being surveyed for their military potential. Rolling hills that once only saw grazing cattle and farmers are now potential sites for radar installations, surveillance equipment, and early warning systems. The natural elevation offers a commanding view of the surrounding seas, making it ideal for monitoring activity in the strait. Quiet coves, once the domain of fishermen and local boats, are now being considered for naval anchorages and patrol bases. The calm waters could soon host military vessels ready to respond to any threat in the region. For the Ivatan people, this transformation is deeply unsettling. Their way of life, rooted in centuries of tradition and harmony with the land and sea, is being disrupted by the island's newfound strategic importance. The presence of military personnel and equipment is a stark contrast to the peaceful routines of daily life. Batanes is now a front line in great power competition, a place where the interests of nations converge and collide. The islands have become a symbol of the shifting dynamics in the Indo-Pacific, where geography and politics are inseparable. The islands are no longer just a home for the Ivatan people, they are a strategic asset, watched closely by the world's most powerful militaries. As the winds of change sweep across Batanes, its future will be shaped not only by its natural beauty but by its place at the heart of a rapidly changing region. The US-China rivalry transforms Batanes. China's territorial claims and bold stance on Taiwan heighten tensions. The US strengthens alliances in the Indo-Pacific, with the Philippines as a key player. Batanes' proximity to Taiwan and the South China Sea makes it ideal for power projection. For Manila, US forces in Batanes signal a strong stance against Beijing. Batanes becomes a focal point of great power competition. Decisions in Washington and Beijing impact Ivatan lives. Geopolitics becomes a reality in their backyards. The military buildup in Batanes is unmistakable. Once known for its tranquil rolling hills and windswept coastlines, the islands now bear the unmistakable marks of a strategic transformation. Where there were once only fishing boats and grazing cattle, military vehicles and tents now dot the landscape, signaling a new era for this remote northern outpost of the Philippines. New naval facilities rise along the shore and airport expansions stretch into the rural heart of the island. Cranes and heavy machinery work tirelessly, reshaping the coastline and airfields to accommodate larger vessels and aircraft. These developments are not just about infrastructure, they are a clear sign of the island's growing role in national defense, supporting a sustained and visible military presence. Uniformed personnel have become a familiar sight in town plazas and village roads. Soldiers now walk the same paths as local farmers and fishermen, their presence blending into daily life. For many residents, the sight of military patrols and checkpoints is no longer unusual. It has become the new normal, a constant reminder of the island's strategic importance. Joint exercises such as the annual Balikatan drills now feature Batanes as a key training ground. Filipino and US troops conduct maneuvers on coastal fields, practicing defense strategies and building cooperation. These exercises bring international attention to the islands, highlighting their critical position at the edge of the West Philippine Sea. The influx of construction workers, military personnel, and support staff has put a strain on local resources. Markets are busier than ever, and supply trucks rumble through narrow roads, delivering materials and provisions. While some welcome the economic boost, others worry about shortages and rising prices as the small community adjusts to the sudden surge in demand. Economic opportunities have emerged for local businesses, from increased sales to new jobs in construction and logistics. Yet, concerns grow among fishermen and vendors about the environmental impact of rapid development. The delicate balance between progress and preservation is now at the forefront of community discussions, as the rural landscape faces unprecedented change. Armored vehicles and missile systems stationed along the coast serve as a constant, imposing reminder of the geopolitical forces at play. The contrast between advanced military hardware and the traditional Ivitan stone houses is stark, underscoring the tension between heritage and security. For the Ivitan people, these changes are deeply personal. Families watch military activities unfold from their doorsteps, and elders gather to discuss the uncertain future. Many grapple with the reality of living in a fortified home, hoping that the conflict these preparations anticipate will never come to pass. The once serene landscape of Batanes is being remade before their eyes. What was once a peaceful haven is now a military bastion, transformed by forces far beyond the island's shores. The people of Batanes stand at the crossroads of history, their home forever changed by the tides of geopolitics. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, is key to Batanes' military buildup. New EDCA sites improve U.S.-Philippine military interoperability. Balikatan exercises focus on external defense scenarios. Batanes plays a starring role in these war games. The goal is to create a credible deterrent against aggression. Critics argue the alliance makes the Philippines a pawn in U.S. strategy. The debate rages: is the alliance a shield or a magnet for conflict? Batanes' militarization creates mixed emotions among the Ivitan people. Some see security in the increased military presence. Others fear their home becoming a target in a U.S.-China conflict. Elders worry about cultural erosion and environmental impact. Economic benefits are weighed against the loss of tranquility. The community faces difficult choices: embrace change or resist. Conversations reflect the larger national debate. The Ivitan voices remind us of the real-world consequences of grand strategies. Their future is defined by these complex emotions. Batanes' strategic importance is tied to the Taiwan issue. A conflict over Taiwan would likely involve U.S. military intervention. The Luzon Strait, overlooked by Batanes, would be highly contested. Batanes could serve as a strategic asset in such a conflict. The strait is vital for global commerce, and disruption would have severe economic consequences. Batanes' security is linked to global stability. The military buildup aims to deter conflict with global ramifications. The fate of Batanes is intertwined with regional peace and prosperity. China watches U.S.-Philippine military cooperation with disapproval. Beijing combines military posturing with diplomatic warnings. Chinese media condemns the alliance, sowing division. China's military presence around the Philippines increases. Economic pressure is applied, warning of repercussions. Beijing's strategy aims to isolate the Philippines and create dissent. Developments in Batanes challenge China's strategy. Beijing's reaction shows the seriousness of this new front. Batanes encapsulates the Philippines' dilemma. The U.S. alliance offers security, but antagonizing China risks economic ties. Some advocate for an independent foreign policy, avoiding sides. The strategic dilemma creates deep societal divisions. Manila must navigate competing pressures to secure the nation. Batanes' military decisions symbolize this national struggle. The alliance with the U.S. is a calculated risk to deter aggression. The fear is provoking China and drawing the Philippines into conflict. The nation's future depends on successfully balancing these forces.